I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
What's going on, guys? Love Smash back with an all new video for you guys today, and in today's video I wanted to give you guys my top 5 predictions of the characters who I think stand a good shot or should be considered as guest characters in the upcoming Injustice 2. Now a lot of you guys might be thinking to yourselves, why would you put a guest character prediction video out before you put a top 5 or a top 10 of the newcomers you would like to see in Injustice? Even Ed Boon hasn't even confirmed there will even be guest characters in Injustice 2. Well, the reason is I currently am working on my top 10. I told you guys that on Twitter. I said that in my previous video of discussing Injustice 2, but it's been very tough to finalize 10 picks. But I've always had these top 5 guest characters going back all the way to last year when I was discussing the newcomers for Injustice 2 as well as the guest characters, and I figured since I've always had these 5 picks in mind, it'd be better to do this video and save the video for later in the week of the top 10 newcomers because I'm still finalizing that list after all the info we got. So without further ado, like I said, Ed Boon has not confirmed we'll even be getting guest characters, but we did see guest characters in the first Injustice with Scorpion's inclusion, and MKX and MK9 had guest characters as well, so I thought it'd be a good idea to speculate and predict. So without further ado, let's begin with my first pick for a guest character, and that would be another Mortal Kombat representative. Now, as we know, in Injustice 1, we had Scorpion's inclusion. So, would it be unheard of to see another MK character be added as a guest character? I wouldn't think so. Now, of course, the general consensus would be to add Sub-Zero. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are the poster boys of MK, yet Scorpion in Injustice 1, why not add Sub-Zero in Injustice 2? You guys know Sub-Zero is my all-time favorite MK character, so I would absolutely love to see him in the game. Now, of course, a lot of people have been speculating that Captain Cold is going to be revealed for Injustice at some point, and are probably saying, why should they add Sub-Zero if we have another Ice, Freeze type character being added to the roster? But Captain Cold has not been officially confirmed, he's just being hinted at and rumored. But there are other MK characters, if they didn't want to choose Sub-Zero, they could go with. For example, another very big and popular and well-known MK character icon is Raiden. Why not add the God of Thunder in this game? Awesome attacks. We know Raiden is high up there of characters that always appear in an MK game with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, or if they wanted to take a different route and go with an MK character and go for something new school and represent for some more MKX, why not choose a character like my girl Cassie Cage? But, like I said, there are plenty of MK characters to choose from. The general consensus and the character personally that I think would have the best shot would be Sub-Zero, but other viable options, could be Raiden, Cassie, or any other character in the MK series. But that would be pick number 1, another MK rep, most likely Sub-Zero. Now, for my second pick would be Spawn. Now, we know the demand for Spawn was extremely high in MKX. There was that whole interview with Todd McFarlane, who is the creator of Spawn, saying he actually gave WB pretty much the go-ahead to add him in MKX. Now, Ed Boon did confirm in an interview he doesn't even remember Todd McFarlane saying that. Now, is that true? Did Ed Boon really not remember Todd McFarlane giving the rights to Spawn to use him in an MKX? Or was Ed Boon lying to cover up the fact that Spawn could be added in Injustice 2? As we know, Spawn did originate from a comic book. Image Comics was the one who put him out years ago. He's been very popular, highly requested to see in MKX, so why not follow the troop of adding a comic book character in a comic book based game? Now, it isn't the first time we've actually seen Spawn make a crossover with the DC Universe. As you can see, there was a comic book, maybe even more put out. I just remember this one seeing it. So if they wanted to go ahead and choose Spawn, the options for a moveset are limitless of what he could do, and people would just absolutely love to see him in this game, and that's why he is my number 2 pick, because I feel like people would just love to have Spawn in this game, or at least in a future MK game if that was to happen. Now, on my third pick would be Rorschach from Watchmen. Now, in case you guys did not know this, WB owns the rights to MK, they own the rights to DC Comics, they also own the rights to the Watchmen franchise. So it wouldn't be unheard of to say, okay, we have a character here. Watchmen was a movie that came out a couple years ago. It did pretty well at the box office. Big comic book, a line that's been going on for a couple years. Rorschach is an overall badass character with tons of weapons and gadgets he can use, not just his badass demeanor of beating the crap out of people if you've seen the movie or read the comics. Now, if you remember my speculation for MKX, but we said if they were going to choose a character from the Watchmen franchise, it would be very easy to, considering WB has the rights to work with, so why not go yet again with the comic book motif, and you could also add Rorschach as another viable option for a guest character. Now moving on to my fourth pick, another comic book character, kind of keeping with the trends here and going with Hellboy. Now, a lot of people don't realize Hellboy was indeed a comic book character. A lot of people may just remember him from the 2 movies that came out. But the possible options for Hellboy and a moveset to be put together could be something very interesting to see in Injustice 2. And just like with Spawn and Image Comics having a crossover with DC, Dark Horse and Hellboy have also had a crossover comic as well. So seeing a character like Spawn or Hellboy appear in Injustice 2 as a guest character wouldn't be something incredibly out there and unheard of, since these companies have worked with each other in the past. They are comic book characters, so you never know, maybe NetherRealm and them are considering all comic book characters as potential guests, because you figure they would go to them over other characters that have just been seen in movies. You feel like they were going to go guest, they go something with their own properties, or at least stick to the comic book nature. Now, on to my fifth and final pick. Now, before I reveal this pick, people are going to say, are you crazy for even considering this character? What is wrong with you? What are you smoking? But a lot of people only remember this character from his big movie in the 90s. People forget and may not know he actually originated from a comic book series by Dark Horse Comics as well in the late 80s, and that would be The Mask. Now, everyone remembers The Mask from the classic 1994 Jim Carrey movie, but people forget he actually had a comic book that came out in the late 80s, and it was a long-running series for Dark Horse Comics. And just imagine the potential moveset for The Mask and the comic relief he could bring to Injustice 2. Just all the wacky, zany things we've seen him do in the movies, or if you saw the classic cartoon show, or even read the comics back in the day, of what he could bring to the table for Injustice 2. Like I said, a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, what the hell are you smoking? How could you even consider that? But I just love the character of The Mask, and he would probably be my least likely on this list to be included, but the character I feel to bring the most shock value and people just say, what the hell? That is awesome. So if I was to rank these characters in order I think they're most likely to be added as guest characters, I would definitely put a Mortal Kombat character at the top of the list, considering NetherRealm is developing the game. Then I would have to go with Spawn, then Rorschach, then Hellboy and Mask for a tie for fourth. But like I said, these are just potential options. Ed Boon or NetherRealm still has not confirmed guest characters will definitely be in Injustice 2, but just thought it'd be a fun idea and a fun video to do. I remember after the whole MKX Combat Pack 2 thing, people were kind of tired of seeing guest characters, but that was MK. I feel like in Injustice they wouldn't go that crazy. They'd add maybe like 1 or 2 max. So maybe we could see another MK character plus another classic non-DC comic book character make it in. Just throwing it out there and sharing some ideas with you guys. But I think the moveset potential for these characters and the hype they would bring as being added as guest characters in Injustice 2 would be something downright awesome and really cool to see. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think any of these characters stand a good shot to be added as guest characters in Injustice 2? Do you think we'll even get guest characters in the game? Would you like to see them? If so, who would you like to see? Let me know in the comments. But like I said, wanted to stick with not only MK characters or other big name non-DC comic book characters. And I know a lot of people may say Marvel, but I find it very unlikely that DC would work with Marvel just because of the rivalry. At least we've seen these characters, like I pointed out. We've seen the crossovers that they had. The Mask had a comic book with DC. It was like a crossover thing, same as Hellboy, same as Spawn. So, and of course, WB owning the rights to Watchmen, and of course, NetherRealm working on the game and owning the rights to MK. Those are just my opinions, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. I'll have my top 10 for you guys hopefully up this week for the newcomers for Injustice 2 that I would like to see and think stand a good shot. But anyway, that is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and like always, for all the latest fighting game news and speculation, be sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon with a brand new video.